a winning team, a key to success is learn the playbook. That's true in football, and it's also true as we take on the coronavirus. The spread of the coronavirus is a serious matter, but there's a game plan for keeping residents as safe as possible. Everyone has a role to play as we face this challenge together. Cover your cough with your elbow like this. Wash your hands thoroughly, a full 20 seconds. If you're sick, stay home. If you think you should be tested, phone your health provider first. Avoid close contact with anyone who's sick. Protect your at-risk family members, including the elderly. If you're not at risk, take care as you go about your daily business. Get the facts now from coronavirus.gov and your state health department. We're all in this together. Let's team up to protect our health.
Hello and welcome to Tigers Roar, the special coronavirus edition. Yes, we are here at Scoreboards. Of course, it is closed, only essential personnel. You can call, get your orders to go. Stay safe at home. We certainly appreciate you tuning in to Tigers Roar. I'm going to bring in the Budman here on a Wednesday. Budman, a lot of craziness, a lot of fallout, the elbow bumps. We saw a press conference earlier today with the governor, the attorney general, and Coach O. We saw Coach O in the clip right there doing the PSA for coronavirus. I'll tell you, if Corona wasn't scared before, when Coach O coughed into his arm, it was scared then.
It is unbelievable how versatile that Ed Orgeron has become, not only leading you, Tiger Nation and fans, to a 15-0 unprecedented national championship season. Who would have thought it and who would have thunk it? But now he is reading PSAs, he's going on all the media shows, and he made a great point. He said today and yesterday, we all have a role to play. And JP, we want to make sure that all of you out there in TV land know that we take our role in this community very seriously. And even though we are absent of live sports on TV or going on, everything shutting down, we're going to give you quality 90-minute program. We're going to talk a little bit about being safe. I know many of you know about your Lysol. Many of you know about the toilet paper and all the precautions, the washing of the hands and all that. Look, we're not here to alarm you. We're here to make you aware that first and foremost, JP, natural precautions. Be clean, change your clothes, take a bath every day, wash your hands. If somebody's got a cough, I had a buddy of mine today, and me and the girlfriend, and all of a sudden he coughs. Of course, I wanted to backhand him, but we can't touch anybody anymore. But as JP said, be respectful. Nobody's freaking out. This is going to pass. And oh, by the way, 25,000 to 69,000 people die every year in this community, in this country,
right.
in this United States
From the flu.
Right. But yet we don't hear every day on the three-letter networks and all the national networks every time somebody tests positive. Look, I am not downplaying what is going on. This is unprecedented, uncharted territory. But let's have a little common sense. Let's take precaution. As everybody knows, the restaurants and bars and all the things, social positioning. Me and JP are actually about 3 feet further than we normally are. Not that I have bad breath, but just from a precautionary measure. And we just want all of you to, when you get on your knees at night and pray, ask the good Lord that this thing can pass and we can make all the right moves to take care of it. Love your family, take care of them. But I was excited because I told you, and I think you were surprised, I said, this is when we get to show you that we're here for you. We're going to give you a quality show, and we're going to relive some of the highlights of what just went on in the 2019 season. Plus, I'm going to talk about spring ball, even though there were only 3 practices, upcoming challenges. And one of the things that I've talked about this week, JP, is that with all the guys leaving the facilities, listen, players out there, and I'm talking to you, this is not the time to go home and start stress eating. Plenty of this, water, work out, because whether you want to hear it or not, you feed people in Louisiana filet mignon, and that's 15-0, right?
That's right.
They don't want to go back to Manda fine meats and red beans and rice, because red beans and rice with some Manda sausage is good.
That is.
But that's 9-3.
That's right.
That's 10-2.
Yep.
So guys, control your weight, work out on your own, take precautions, and hopefully, JP, we will move forward, have more sports as we get into April and May and some semblance of normalcy, because, man, do you miss it? Do you realize how much you miss it after having nothing to watch for the last 5 days?
I mean, the crazy part is we've all been through these type of scenarios before, whether it be a disaster, a hurricane, what have you, but there's always been sports to fall back on to kind of take you away for a little bit, to take your mind at ease. Without sports, people have been absolutely going crazy. That's why we were happy to bring you another edition of Tigers Roar right here on a Wednesday. But man, SEC cancels all games for the school year, all remaining games, I should say. No more basketball, baseball, all gone. They postponed NBA. NFL free agency did start this week. Thank goodness. I mean, thank goodness we have something to talk about that's not coronavirus. Of course, we'll get into a lot of that here on Tigers Roar. Drew Brees re-signs with the New Orleans Saints. NFC South picks up another Hall of Fame quarterback in Tom Brady, presumably going to the Buccaneers. No deal has been finalized yet, but expected to see Tom Brady playing for Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians this upcoming season. Of course, Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater, he goes to Carolina, reunites with Joe Brady. You know, he can do some things. We saw him play 5 games for the Saints last year. He managed the game very well. But look, they say goodbye to Cam Newton, a former MVP. I mean, you have to have a lot of faith in a guy to get rid of somebody like Cam Newton.
Cam Newton did not like it and went on Twitter to tell everybody this was not his doing, it was the club's doing. Listen, how about the quarterbacks? Now, you got Teddy Bridgewater, who I think is good, but I don't think is great. And he is going to get $63 million for 3 years, and good for Teddy. He helped the Saints start 5-0 last year. As expected, Drew Brees. I predicted Drew Brees would get 2 years for $65 million, which was about the going rate. He finally gives the Saints a little deal, and so 2 years, $50 million. And of course, Brady, $30 million a year. They have not specified. I'm gonna predict 2 years because what? He's 42 now. He says he wants to play to 45. I think they're going to probably give him a year contract and probably an option year. And so, man, you look at the NFC South and what games and what quarterback matchups. Malcolm Jenkins is back from Philadelphia. That is a good move. Ed Daniels saying today that means they're probably not going to re-sign Von Bell. Patrick Robb is back. Kiko Alonso is back. A.J. Klein got big money. You saw what A.J. Klein got, a big monster deal.
Buffalo.
And so a lot of free agency moves, but the Saints still feel like they are very close. There's going to be a sense of urgency. And I pose a question today, JP, and I'll pose it to you here on this gorgeous Wednesday night. Would you take Justin Jefferson if he's still there in the first round?
Absolutely, absolutely. Jets on the other side of Michael Thomas. The Saints need a wide receiver number 2. Yes, Traquan Smith has done some things. They do have a good tight end in Jared Cook. But, I mean, you saw it when it got down to later in the year. People are going to double team Michael Thomas every single play. It doesn't matter if it's a running down. Michael Thomas is getting a lot of attention. You have to have another option out there. Jets Jefferson, after running that 4.43. He's going to go in the first round. Hopefully when the Saints pick, he will be around. I saw some also mock drafts having CeeDee Lamb being available for the Saints.
No way he'll be alive. I'll tell you what, if he is still available with the Saints, I'll give you and your wife Manda sausage for about a week.
And they also had the Alabama wide receiver.
Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs III.
Right, or Ruggs. And the Saints need to do something to help out Michael Thomas. I mean, the guy set records last year. The Saints didn't win 13 games. Their offense did not sputter. I mean, they had a pretty good running game. Alvin Kamara did play about 75%. He's supposedly healthy now, so that is a big get for the Saints to have him back healthy. Jimmy Graham, a free agent. A lot of Saints fans out there wanted the Saints. No,
he already did a deal. Jimmy Graham hadn't done anything since he left the Saints. By the way, folks, it is amazing, and you never would have thought this. But as per the norm, when you go to the combine, sometimes you interview and sometimes you say, I'll do all my stuff and testing at Pro Day. Well, inexplicably, Pro Day is canceled. Now, we know LSU Pro Day was going to be in a couple Fridays on April the 3rd. Joe Burrow, I don't think it's going to bother him because he did the interview with Cincinnati Bengals, and they were blown away. I mean, they could not believe this guy who's, 22 or maybe early 23, has so much moxie, so much poise, says all the right things, and you know what he does that is comparable to Tom Brady? He's a leader, and people follow him.
That's right.
So I think it's a no-brainer that Burrow's going to get the number one, even though he was scheduled to throw and do all the things here at Pro Day. Also, potential in the first round, K'Lavon Chaisson, edge rusher. As I was getting these tapes together and looking at highlights, I don't think people realize how good K'Lavon Chaisson, who wore 18 with Lloyd Cushenberry last year, I don't think they realize what a difference maker. Now, sometimes he committed too much to the run, but man, he was held to block the last 4 or 5 games. Patrick Queen. If I'd have told you last year Patrick Queen is going to skyrocket up into the first round, you'd have said, Bud, man.
Who?
You got into the Beano Cook peanut butter again,
Right.
or the Lou Holtz peanut butter. Clyde Edwards-Helaire picked as one of the top running backs, 1 or 2 top running backs. He could go late. Grant Delpit. He did not perform at the Combine because he had a long season. He wanted to tweak the ankle and get it well. I think his sophomore film was better than his junior film. You agree?
Yeah.
And so he still is going to tell everybody, put the film in. And man, I'm looking at all these mock drafts. LSU's got 4 or 5 or 6. Alabama's got 4 or 5 or 6. Georgia's got 3. It once again exemplifies what we say every Saturday and all during the week in football season. The SEC is without a doubt the place to play your football. And we're going to talk about future stars. We're going to relive 2019. And folks, we're going to make your belly feel good because we are going to relive and give you a good feeling. And by the time you watch this show, and it ends at 9:30, you're going to give your wife a hug and a kiss and say, baby, can you believe this 2019 season? It's almost as special as you, baby. How about that one?
That's right, Bob, man. We have a whole lot more here on Tigers Roar. We'll take our first break, but first, I want to tell you, don't forget about Scoreboards. Like all the other restaurants around, it is closed to come in, but give them a call. Get you some crawfish or some wings. Everything's excellent. Get it to go, bring it home, eat it in a safe environment. Come back and join us right here on Tigers Roar after this break.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad.
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I'm Jonathan Poche. He's the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji, here on a Wednesday. Certainly appreciate you tuning in to us. We'll talk some NFL free agency. We have to start down in New Orleans. Drew Brees, 2-year deal worth roughly $50 million, $23 million in sign-up bonus, only a base salary of about $2 million. Very team friendly. Of course, Drew Brees, the consummate leader, wanted to have some cap space for the New Orleans Saints to go ahead and keep building this team. Great job by both sides. Mickey Loomis always finding money where it previously was not. Great job coming to an agreement, signing up Hall of Famer to be Drew Brees.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You wanted this to be a cap-friendly signing. Look, I was wrong. I told you I thought he'd get 30 or 32.5 million. I predicted 60 to 65. Bargain at 50.
Yeah.
Can you believe it, folks? All of these quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers. Oh, by the way, his little brother played at LSU. Didn't play much and went to Vandy. Didn't play much. But Phillip Rivers, a 1-year deal with the Indianapolis Colts for $25 million. You think that could set us all up for a year or so at Scoreboards?
I'd take half that.
Of course, we can't play football, especially at the pro level, so we don't begrudge those guys for getting what they want. But back to Brees, everybody thought it was going to happen. There was serious consideration. You know the network's going to swoop him up as soon as he quits playing because he says all the right things and he's a great leader and people respect him. But I think it's real important to give him another chance. Obviously, Taysom Hill is tagged as a restricted agent, so if somebody wants to come get Taysom Hill, then they got to pick up his contract and give it the Saints a number one.
Right.
He'll probably stick. Got to get a wide receiver from Michael Thomas, and I do think a couple of their offensive linemen may go bye-bye. Of course, Daniel Onyemata, the defensive lineman, is back. Patrick Robb is back. Kiko Alonso is back. And Malcolm Jenkins comes back from Philadelphia. Only 32. I'll say that only 32.
Yeah.
He's old for a DB, but only a couple of years. He'll be good in the locker room. Probably won't sign Von Bell because of signing Malcolm Jenkins.
I mean, it's a great story. Sean Payton made it publicly known that it was one of his biggest regrets as a coach to let Malcolm Jenkins leave and go to the Eagles. He comes back after him and the Eagles could not agree on a new contract. The Saints get a very versatile, very established leader in that locker room and really shores up one of the weak spots in that defense. Yes, Von Bell has played very well in his last couple of seasons. Saints weren't ready to give him a mega deal. Malcolm Jenkins has been proven, Super Bowl winner, very respected not only in the locker room but across the league, did a lot for the civil rights movement. Malcolm Jenkins, a pro's pro, back in the black and gold. Sean Payton has to be happy.
By the way, if you've been behind a rock and a hard place, they did get it done. The CBA was ratified by the NFL players. It was a scant 60 votes.
Yep.
Almost 2,000. I think it was like 1959 total, and only 60 votes between approval or rejection. And this is going to mean in 2021, the league and the owners will probably implement another regular season game, so you'll have 17 regular season games and one less exhibition game. But JP and I were talking during the break, folks. Look at the quarterbacks in the NFC South, and you're not going to find any better anyway. Now, Matty Ice, or Matty Ryan for the Falcons, he's still got to be dreaming at night and waking up. How did we blow this game?
28-3.
New England, 28-3.
Yep.
All right, now you got the Hall of Famer and the greatest of all time at this point. I think with the numbers and the rings and Brady, he's going to be right now the greatest of all time. He's going to be with Tampa Bay. $30 million a year, probably 2 years. Actual details will be released here shortly. Then you got Breeze, 2 years for $50 million, and Teddy Bridgewater, who I got to be honest, folks, he did the best chopper in the locker room.
I agree.
When they were winning a couple of years ago, man, he was awesome on the chopper. Well, guess what? He got on his chopper today and rode into the sunset and the sunshine as he's getting 3 years, $63 million. Once again, JP reunited with Joe Brady, the Wonder Boy, who hooked up with Joe Burrow and Steve Ensminger to give LSU fans the greatest season of all. Got a new head coach with Rule, but Joe Brady back reunited with, of course, Teddy Bridgewater, and it will be interesting to see. But those four quarterbacks in the NFC South, I don't think there's any better league or conference or division with that many great quarterbacks.
Right, two things. Teddy Bridgewater, Joe Brady, they know each other. They were in the Saints locker room together 2 years ago. They like each other. Joe Brady knows Teddy Bridgewater can make the throws he needs to make on time, accurately. That's what the NFL is all about. Second point, Tom Brady, NFC South. This isn't the AFC East. You don't play the Jets twice a year. You don't play the Dolphins twice a year. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills have been emerging as a talented team. NFC South's going to get after those quarterbacks. Tom Brady, he better be moving his 42-year-old butt up the field, get out of pressure, or he's going to have a tough time. Yes, Bruce Arians is a very innovative offensive mind. A lot of deep throws in that offense. Jameis Winston, 30 interceptions but 30 touchdowns. He could throw the deep ball. That was probably the strongest point of his game. Mike Evans on the outside, Chris Godwin on the outside, two very good players. You also have O.J. Howard in the middle at tight end. They have a good running back, too. This team could be dangerous offensively, but again, everybody in NFC South looking up at the New Orleans Saints. It is their division to lose. They are the reigning back-to-back NFC South champions, won 13 games last season. It's going to take more than just one player, even if it is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and Tom Brady, to upstage the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And can you imagine the emotions and the thoughts and all the things that we'll be talking about the first time Tom Brady and Drew Brees go against each other? Devin White, by the way, is going to be a leader in that clubhouse. And I'm going to make this prediction right now. Tom Brady, after he's been in Tampa Bay 6 months, is going to sing the praises of Devin White. He's a special, special young man, and it is going to be really interesting because if Brady gets knocked around and Brees gets knocked around, you're going to have these people who get totally shafosed and watch the games, and depending on whether the Bucs win or the Saints win, I can't believe those people are still playing. Well, guess what? They're the two greatest of all in the NFL quarterback room, and they will both be first-time Hall of Famers. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Brees has a slight lead on touchdown passes. We know that he surpassed Peyton Manning with yards and some other things, But Brady's right there, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow. And yes, folks, we feel very confident that when we plateau out and start to even out and then go down with some of the problems that we've had with the coronavirus and the testing and all the problems, we hope that we will have some semblance of normalcy, because as you can see, we can talk football, and you know what? I'm a football guy, you're a football guy, and for all of you out there watching, I mean, take a break from all the national scrutiny and the panic and the fear and all the other stuff, and just relive and you know, I've been actually doing some breathing exercises. Inhale, hold it for a half a minute, exhale. It's going to be all right, but I'm excited about thinking about the potential, because LSU's got a heck of a reputation to live up to, and they're going to be a young team. But the Saints, man, you got a year or two left with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, you know, on each other's hip. I'm just hoping that they can stay healthy. Austin Peay, by the way. Andrus Peay, I'm sorry. By the way, I think it's going to be bye-bye. I still remember how bad he got his butt kicked in that Minnesota game.
Drummed. You mentioned Brady and Brees. Look, Drew Brees, you get in front of a camera, he says nothing but the right things. But I promise you, there is no one in that locker room that is more competitive than Drew Brees. You can see when he's trying to win these quarterback challenges in spring training. I mean, the guy does not like to lose at anything. There's been reports that at the Pro Bowl, Drew Brees had told some players and coaches he was really thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
Brady comes out and says he'll be back. That had to play in some kind of measure to Drew Brees wanting to keep those records. Not that records are everything, but still, you want to keep the records if you have them. If he can play a little bit longer, Tom Brady's play a little bit longer, why not go ahead and strap him up? Try to get another Super Bowl. Drew Brees, if there's anyone who deserves more than one, it's Drew Brees.
Yeah, that was really tough for the Saints fans the last couple of years with these endings. And of course, the guy who was at the back end of the Minnesota Miracle got his big deal going to Buffalo, and Stephon Diggs. And they sent 4 players over for him. It reminded me of some of the crazy trades. And you know why I lost the first name on Pete? He's glad. He didn't want to be recognized the way he played in that game. But as always, folks, this time of the year, you talk about building that foundation. And the Saints O-line protecting Brees and the LSU line protecting Miles Brennan, those are going to be integral parts of watching these two teams develop, and we'll see if they can ascend. You know, the Saints went 13-3 last year. That's nothing to sneeze about. And, of course, we know about LSU. It's going to be interesting. Week 2, you have Texas, of course. Then you go play at Florida. You got some other tough road games, and you got Alabama and some other heavyweights coming in. So, hey, we're here. You stay safe, be positive, and just take a deep breath, because hopefully, as fast as life goes on, we will get back, because, you know, whether it's fair or not, JP, football is a big part of our culture. And listen, we're 48th, 49th, and 50th, unfortunately, this state, and a lot of important things. And you give them a top 5 or top 10 team, they hold on it like it's their pride and joy. They're on the internet. Hey, did you see my Tigers? Did you see my Saints? It's their pride and joy. And it has nothing to do with gambling on games, but just to go to the game and drink a brewski and see Tom Brady come into the Superdome. Can you imagine what that's going to be like? And there Drew Brees is going before the game. I mean, this is what makes people love Louisiana and our culture. And trust me, I feel good about moving forward. None of us know when the craziness is going to stop, but let's just hope we have our fill of football, because if this craziness goes through football, then I'm going to have to call Dr. Phil in, and we'll have him on this show in coming months.
Saints also restructured deals for Terrell Armstead and Michael Thomas. We mentioned Michael Thomas needing some help on the outside, another wide receiver. You mentioned Stephon Diggs. You know, he was the second big-name wide receiver to be moved this free agency. The first, DeAndre Hopkins. One of the top 2 receivers in the league. I think he's the only receiver that's even close to Michael Thomas. Shipped to the Arizona Cardinals for a bag of potato chips and a running back. David Johnson had one good season, and now he's coming into the Texans. Bill O'Brien, I mean, yeah, what you did for Joe Paterno taking over to Penn State, that was all admirable. what he has done in the Texans organization, not only did he blow the lead in the playoffs, then they make him the head coach and the general manager. He goes into a meeting with his best player and tells him he reminds him of Aaron Hernandez. Something is not right there. Then he complains about the mothers of his children being around the organization too much. Michael Irvin actually broke that story on ESPN. I wasn't in the meeting. I don't know what Bill O'Brien said, but wow, they have some problems with the Texas organization.
I have about 5 really good close friends that live and have been big Houston fans. And we go way back to the Astros. And obviously there's a whole bunch of controversy. I guess the Astros are kind of happy right now because their controversy has been swept under the rug with all of this virus stuff. But there's about 5 of my friends over there, and I'm telling you, 2 a man, and one of them is a young lady that's just getting into business. She's been in the business about 4 years and works in Houston, radio, TV, and internet. And she asked me the other day, what do you think of Bill O'Brien? I said, Jen, you don't have enough time. But look, to do this move, and they all hate him. And let me tell you what happens, folks. When you hate a coach and he makes moves like that, and we saw it time to time, I'm not going to mention, there was an LSU coach that wore out his welcome, and you really start pulling for the other team to win just so this guy will get fired. If they start poorly this year, and if he has any more Joe Biden gaffes like he's had, and Joe's had plenty, we know. Bill O'Brien's had plenty, we know. Buddy, they are going to be pulling for him to lose his job, and they got to ship him out. He is very unpopular in Houston, and people are freaking out about Bill O'Brien. That did make sense. Oh, by the way, Amari Cooper. Remember when Amari Cooper came into Tiger Stadium, and most people that were in there watching all of the stars saying, boy, that's one of the best Alabama receivers ever. Well, guess what? 5 years, $100 million with the Cowboys. He got paid. And you know what came to mind when that deal went down? How much money is my friend and your buddy Jamar Chase going to make in a couple of years?
No kidding. Speaking of Jamar Chase, we will get into LSU's 2019 football season right on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. This is Tigers Roar.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Remember the smell of vinyl? What happened to all your old records? Lost in a move? Thrown out by the ex? Get them back. Classic Vinyl's record store and collectibles, 13847 Coursey, where you can find all old vinyl, all genres of music, rock, country, blues, and R&B. Classic Vinyls and collectibles behind Mary Lee Donuts and Coursey. If they don't have it, they'll get it. Look for them on Facebook. Classic Vinyls, sponsors of Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night Thursdays at Scoreboards on Coursey.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I've seen a lot of things during my life, more bad things than good. I've lived in a lot of places, but never a home. I don't think anybody cares about me anymore. And now, I'm tired. Signed, Brian, age 11.
Abused and neglected children in East Baton Rouge Parish are in dire need of CASA volunteers. Please call 379-8598 today. Change a life of hurt into a life of hope.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Buddy's doing a little cleaning here at Scoreboards, getting all over my computer. That's okay. Disinfect whatever you can. Jonathan Poche, Buddy Sanji here on Tigers Roar. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Talk some LSU football, get into some spring details. Buddy did go to the practices when they were having them. Of course, practice has been canceled. No spring game April 18th. It was a great gesture for Roman Banks, the athletic director at Southern, to let LSU come and use their facility on the Bluff to have that game. It's not going to happen, but still is a great gesture.
All right, what we're going to do, folks, is just kind of go through who is going to not be there and who is leaving LSU, and then we'll fill in some of the potential guys coming back. So let's start off in the O-line. And if you remember, JP, the big question before the year going on, and you heard this from Coach O, offensive line is the most improved position, and what did he say? The two tackles. Deculus on the right side, Sadiq Charles on the left side. Now, Sadiq Charles did have some issues and had to sit out 6 games. Dar Rosenthal filled in at times, and of course, we know Adrian McGee was very versatile. So you got to replace Sadiq Charles at left tackle. Ed Ingram fits nicely at left guard. No Adrian McGee. Adrian McGee's a senior. He played right tackle, he played left tackle, he played both guard spots, he played 4 spots. So already you're missing Adrian McGee at left guard and Sadiq Charles at left tackle. Now, I think this is going to be one of the toughest ones besides Burrow, Lloyd Cushenberry. This guy was so good, so steady, so consistent, so respected by his team. They gave him the number 18 along with K'Lavon Chaisson. Obviously, he had to wear 79 because you can't wear 18 as an offensive lineman, so he had the little 18 on his jersey. And we know he will be a load to replace. At right guard, of course, we know Damian Lewis, the big lifter, JC player, did a great job with pass protection and a mauler. And, of course, you don't lose Deculus. So you lose your left tackle, Sadiq Charles, your left guard, Adrian McGee, your center, Lloyd Cushenberry, and your right guard, Damian Lewis. Tight end, you're losing Thad Moss. And unfortunately, Thad Moss, as he was getting ready for the combine, he's got another foot problem, so he is going to rehab. Now, we know Justin Jefferson ran 4.43, so he decided to come on. You lose him. You also lose a guy. I mean, if I'd have told you last year when we were doing this show, going in the spring, middle of the spring, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to catch 50-plus balls and score 16 rushing touchdowns, you'd have taken me to urgent care.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So you got to replace CEH, who is such a, I mean, God bless that young man. You know, he was really the guy against Alabama.
That was, yep.
And folks, one of these days we'll bring you some highlights about LSU Alabama. Maybe we'll do that next week. So that kind of is the offense. Anybody I miss out as far as who else is not returning on offense? I think that basically is most of the guys that you're going to lose. Real quick, Dar Rosenthal at left tackle. He's not out there in the spring, but he's expected to be out there in fall. He will battle 2 guys. Cameron Wire, who's a sophomore from East Ascension, has good potential, good skills, but he's had a history of having some knee problems. So you got to hope that he stays healthy. Of course, Thomas Perry, the son of Adam Perry, they liked him a lot. He got injured just like Cardell Thomas. So Rosenthal, Perry, and of course the aforementioned Cameron Wire at left tackle. Ed Ingram, no doubt about it, he's back. He's your left guard. Yeah, I'm going to predict he's got a chance to make all SEC. He's that good. Center is Chasen Hines, and they moved Joseph Evans from the D-line to center. So Chasen Hines and Joe Evans battling at center. At right guard, the big fella from Michigan, Bradford, big load. 350-ish, and Cardell Thomas. So Anthony Bradford, who redshirted, and Cardell Thomas, who redshirted. Cardell, you're a little heavy right now. Everybody knows it. I'm always heavy. I'm a difference. I'm middle-aged. You're younger. Got to get the weight off, my friend. Come on. You have potential to be an all-SEC player. That's one of the problems I'm worried about with this craziness. These kids are going to go home. They're going to be able to eat fast food. They're not under the table anymore. I hope when we are allowed to go out there, we don't see these bellies all hanging over the belt line. But Bradford and Cardell Thomas at right guard. Austin Deculus, man, you got to love his reception at the White House with the long hair. And when they mispronounced Ed Ogeron's name, that was so cool. But he's back, so Ingram and Deculus back, and those guys are experienced. At tight end, Jamal Pettigrew. Now, this guy looked like he had potential 2 weeks ago. I mean, 2 years ago. And he got hurt, JP. It's taken him 2 years to get back. Big number 80 is going to help. He's going to be a blocking tight end, but you got two guys coming in, Eric Gilbert, a phenom from Georgia, and Cole Taylor, a big 6'7", 235 pass-catching tight end, so those guys will fit in very easily. Hey, Miles Brennan. Now, let's talk about the good and the bad. He hung with Joe Burrow for a year and a half. He saw what Joe Burrow did with preparation. He saw what he did with film study. He saw what he did when a play broke down. He's got to learn when to throw it away, when to eat it, when to hit the grass. And the one thing that we have to be honest about, he's probably not going to make as many plays with his feet as Joe made. So what they're going to have to do is have some quick plays, and maybe you might see more throwaways, but that's a lot better than giving up sacks.
That's right. Joe Burrow, I mean, one of the best things about him was his toughness, was able to take that hit and pop right up. His teammates loved that about him. Miles Brennan, not as thick as Joe Burrow. We'll have to do some checkdowns, I believe, but that's okay in this offense. They have running backs that can catch the ball at the backfield. Miles Brennan has a rocket for an arm. He can make all the throws downfield. Jamar Chase, Racey McMath, all these guys downfield are going to love the deep ball he throws. Gets a lot of arc on it. You can just run under and catch it in the basket. Miles Brennan, if he makes plays early, people are going to start saying, hey, what's this LSU juggernaut on offense?
Well, I'm going to get to the wide receivers because I think it's the most loaded position on the team.
I agree.
But three running backs. Chris Curry's getting reps with the one, and boy, the light went on him for him last year, October, November. He was just a different guy. Looked like we shot out of a cannon. Tyrion Davis-Price looks like a bull in a china closet. You're running, and he's just running over whatever gets in the way. And, of course, John Emery, who can take it to the house so smooth, so fast, got to get a little bit bigger. 10 pounds up here lifting. And got to learn to work on the hands and catch the ball out the backfield. They got a kid coming in, Trey Bradford from Texas, who is a very good pass catcher. Speaking of pass catchers, we connect the dots here. Man, oh man, oh man, Jamar Chase. Remember a couple years ago, you and I were talking about it, me and Paul from Mandeville. Boy, we like that Jamar Chase. And he didn't do that much as a freshman. But 20 touchdowns, 1,750 yards. Of course, the Biletnikoff winner. Now, JP, him, Terrace Marshall, Racey McMath have a chance to be special. Do you think they're going to double Jamar Chase? And do you think that LSU will get smart and do what they did a little bit last year late, is put him in the backfield, and all of a sudden you loop him out, you go him to the right, to the left, you hand off to him. You got all kinds of things you can do. They're going to try to put him in motion so that he can't be double covered all the time.
Obviously, I agree. I think that everybody's going to have to double team Chase. But really, I'm looking forward to is the emergence of Eric Gilbert. You're going to leave some room up the middle if you have safety splitting the sides of the field to cover Jamar Chase. Eric Gilbert, 5-star from Marietta, Georgia. He looks special. That guy could run. He can catch. He's big. He can jump. He has all the tools to be a very special player for the Tigers.
You ever seen a tight end wear number 2?
Never.
Tight ends wear 80 or 84 or 87 or 88. This guy wears number 2. He looks like a big wide receiver. He is as smooth as a $100 bottle of wine. And I guess that's a pretty smooth bottle. I don't drink.
Not a wine drinker. I have no idea.
But look, folks, don't sleep on Trey Palmer. This is a kid from Kentwood that really was oohing and ahhing everybody in the summer. He got in a car accident right before fall camp, and he never got into his groove. So Chase won. Terrace Marshall, you forget how good and smooth he is. I'm going to make the prediction now. Chase had 20, and I think Marshall ended up with 13 or 14. Of course, JJ had 18. I expect Chase and Marshall once again to be 15 or more. Terrace Marshall is going to make some money this year, and I think could be a potential first-round pick. Racey McMath, big, can run, great target. And then, as we said, you got Trey Palmer. You have Jaray Jenkins, who changed from 83 to 10, took Stephon Sullivan's old number. And don't forget about Keyshawn Butte, who's coming in, and he blew everybody away at those All-Star games. Also, you throw in Corey Moore from Rummel and Alex Adams from Mississippi. Trust me. Oh, don't sleep on Jontre Kirkland. And by the way, I had this question thrown to me, and I'll throw it to you. Number one, folks, Myles Brennan's got to stay healthy because Dr. Phil is going to get more than one phone call from everybody around here if Myles Brennan gets hurt.
Agreed.
He's 210 right now. He wants to get up to about 215 because you naturally lose about 5 pounds during the season. But lo and behold, it is going to be fun. And let's be fair, and I've said this, but let's say it one more time. Compare Myles Brennan this year to Joe Burrow in 18 when he was starting for the first year. It's not fair for you to ask Myles Brennan to come in and throw for 35 touchdown passes and 5 or 6 or 7. Joe had 60 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, and 5 rushing touchdowns. Are you ready for this stat?
Bring it.
Burrow accounted for 65 touchdowns. That ties for 13th in team touchdowns. LSU was number 1 in touchdowns last year, 95 touchdowns. The next team, 88. So, folks, when you're bored, when you have no sports, and LSU will be on the SEC Network all day on Sunday, 24 hours, all the great stuff. But, JP, this is what we did. We want to show people some film on Georgia. We're going to show them a little bit on Oklahoma. We're going to show them a little bit on, obviously, the national championship game. And hang in there because it's something that I'm hoping, JP, lives with us. And we digested it. We inhaled it. We still have a great sense of contentment. I mean, not only to win a national championship, but JP, 48 points a game and 400 yards a game passing with both Brennan and Burrow's stats. Did you ever think you'd see it in your lifetime?
So watching the first game of the season last year, I didn't know what team was on. I mean, who was this LSU team? No huddle, fast tempo, airing the ball out, throwing it all over the field. Joe Burrow's execution, I mean, from the first game of the season, you were amazed. The guy made very few mistakes. When it wasn't there, he took off with his feet, always seemed to make the right choice. What really blew me away, Bud, man, the 50-50 balls. For LSU wide receivers, it wasn't 50-50. It was 100-0. They caught them all. I mean, it was really outstanding. All 3 guys. I mean, Marshall, Chase, and Jefferson. If you threw it up there, even if it was back shoulder, whatever it was, over the middle, down the sideline, they were coming down with it. I mean,
and let's give Thad Moss some credit, too, because that was a hell of a catch against Alabama.
Tone it up.
You know that Randy's got to be really proud of his son, who hopefully will get picked by team and can get healthy and be a guy that can have a nice NFL career. By the way, we went through offense tonight. We're going to show you the 3 games. Next week, I'll break down the defense, the departures, and did you have a phantom here in this? There could be 3 guys on the LSU defense that could go in the first round. K'Lavon Chaisson, Kristen Fulton, and Grant Delpit. And yet some LSU insiders think this defense might be better.
I heard that.
So you're going to see more running this year. You're going to see a different center and a different quarterback. You're going to see a more aggressive defense. Everybody's back with special teams except for Blake Ferguson, the deep snapper. And he's handed off to Quentin Skinner, another kid from Buford, Georgia. But it's going to be fun to see the pieces to the puzzle and if they can make them fit.
We want to show you guys some highlights from the SEC Championship in Alabama. LSU taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, and Kirby not so smart, as the Budman likes to term it. We'll go ahead and show you the replays and continue this conversation right here on Tigers Roar. Buddy, LSU went into the game perfect. They took on the Georgia Bulldogs, who had dropped a game in this regular season. Nobody thought LSU would blow them out the way they did, but Joe Burrow came out early and often. I had to watch this game actually at a travel ball tournament at LaSalle Park.
I remember, yeah, you
Some
were.
guy, thank the good
displaced.
Lord, they brought out a TV so I could watch this game in between the baseball games. We'll let you guys see the highlights. Go ahead and roll that in the truck whenever you get a second, and we'll continue the conversation. But all the points they scored, Jake Fromm did go down in that game. LSU got to him early. Chason really came strong in this game. They see Joe Burrow completing a ball to himself and getting the first down. That was an
16-yard completion. JP, you know, he was so quick to do that. His hand-eye skills, of course. Here's Terrace Marshall once again on a crossing route. And one thing about it, folks, Georgia started with a 3-man rush. Here's Joe running around. This is going to be the touchdown to Chase in the end zone. They replayed it. He did have possession. And once again, that guy has some incredibly strong hands.
Later on in this game, you will see the perfecter of social distancing. No one could lay a hand on Joe Burrow. The guy was scrambling all around in the pocket. You see a great completion, a bobble, and a re-catch by Marshall. It was reviewed. He was upset with himself for bobbling a little bit because he thought it could have been a touchdown.
Great call here, folks. Bunch formation, cross, and there's a little flip to Marshall in the corner of the end zone. Here you go with some of the defense, and this is going to be Patrick Queen. And wow, to see the way Patrick Queen came on, looking like a first-round pick. Rashard Lawrence wasn't the greatest, but boy, had one of the biggest hearts ever. And of course, Grant dealt with the safety blitz, made him a little bit of money, and got him an award this year as the best DB in the country.
We see Justin Jefferson getting the ball down the sideline. This is what I love about Jets. He doesn't want to go out. He wants to give some punishment to the DBs when he's around that sideline. Lowers his shoulder and gets some extra yardage.
Here's Joe Burrow once again avoiding a sack. And you know, this doesn't look like it's a big play, but he gets a first down and once again does a great job of leading LSU. I think they got a field goal out of that. Of course, here's a big hit by Jacoby Stevens. Jacoby is coming back to the 2020 defense. And here, once again, a great play. Derek Stingley, 2 INTs in this game. This was the first one, JP.
Hard not to be excited about that kid's sophomore season. You mentioned it.
Here's your play, JP.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Right, this is the completion over the middle. Clyde Edwards-Helaire catching the ball out the backfield. It is from the same spot of the field. As my man said, that will be the play we talk about. Joe Burrow, great in the pocket. That step-up move is something you really have a tough time teaching young kids. Joe Burrow, a pro quarterback playing college football last year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, here's the play, folks. This guy, number 44, is trying to get him a couple times. Well, that's still not the play, so I'm glad I'm not Gary Danielson. I'd be getting criticized profoundly. But once again, everybody knows about that Heisman play where he ran around, dumping it off. And this is what I love about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Look at that foot in the ground. You can't tackle him, JP.
The strength in the lower body is something to be enamored at. He's also great on the spin move. You saw him use a lot over the year. Catching the ball out of the backfield is somewhere he was very underrated going into this season, but something the NFL is going to utilize a ton with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Their bad boy George Pickens, of course, did get suspended and was only in this ball game for the first half. Here we go, the Heisman play, and once again, just the moxie and the poison to throw this thing on the run. Justin Jefferson, how cool was that, trying to tackle him about the helmet. This DB did a great job. Watch this fake move. Boom, foot in the ground, 71 yards. And we've seen this play. I've seen this play at least 20 times. It never gets old, JP.
I tell you, Jets could have scored if Racey McMath just goes ahead of him, blocks downfield. I understand he was tired, got caught at the 5. Could have been a score.
And, of course, here we go once again, a quick slant into Terrace Marshall. What a great target, and he is going to be hell on wheels in the 2020 season for LSU. Derek Stingley with his second interception, dragging the receiver for about 10 yards. Everybody's already saying, JP, this guy might be a true freshman, but he's one of the best corners that any of these great receivers had to play against.
Jamar Chase did get number 7 this season. I thought it should go to Chase. If there was any other player it was going to, I believe it should have been Stingley. He's also a very dynamic playmaker. And there you see Jets Jefferson with another score, giving the salute to the fans out there in the SEC Championship.
Running a little option here, and of course here's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And look, folks, you don't know. You just don't realize how tough it is to bring this guy down. Once again, LSU with some pressure, and I think Dave Aranda probably finally got as aggressive as Coach O wanted on the defensive philosophy in the last 3-4 games, JP.
They see Chris Curry being the bull that he is. He got a lot of action late in this game. There you see him busting some tackles up the middle. Chris Curry's going to play a big role in this 2020 upcoming season whenever we get there this fall.
No doubt about it. There it is, 37-10, Coach O winning his first SEC championship. There you see Joe Burrow, like nonchalant. And I go back to two things that were said last year. Joe Burrow telling everybody at the Manning Passing Academy, I don't think people are used to LSU scoring 40, 50, or 60 points. And then the other thing is, he did not celebrate until he smoked a cigar and pointed to the ring. Unbelievable focus. I'm hoping Miles Brennan can bring a little bit of that focus and leadership to the locker room this year.
We have more right here on Tigers Roar. We'll get into the second to last game when LSU took on Oklahoma in the Peach Bowl, and then we'll go to that national championship. Don't go anywhere. He's Buddy Sanji. I'm Jonathan Poche, and you're watching Tigers Roar.
Taste the feeling. Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Okay, welcome to Tigers Roar. We'll get you straight into it. Here is the highlights from LSU taking on the Oklahoma Sooners, in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl for the college football semifinal. Get you right into it. Of course, Jalen Hurts was the quarterback for Oklahoma, the Alabama transfer. Started early for Cleveon Chason, getting the sack in the first quarter. Great start for LSU defense.
Great job of containing Jalen Hurts. You know he can hurt you more with his feet than his arm. LSU gets the football, and anybody that thought the Tigers would ever live to see a day that they would have 7 touchdown passes in the first half, you've got a better imagination. There you see Damone Clark. I like him a lot this year. 8 Queen is gone, but Jacoby Stevens on that film coming back. Here you go. Joe Burrow with a quick slant, and Jets once again forces his way into the end zone.
A staple at New Orleans Saints offense was the slant over the middle. Joe Brady took that to the LSU offense. Joe Burrow ran it to perfection with those wide receivers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Big boy football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 22. You don't ever want to make a living catching him and tackling him. Here you go once again. Just a great making his body twist, squared up his shoulder, and throwing a sharp slant to Terrace Marshall. Touchdown number 2.
Right, rolling to the left. Always a tougher throw for right-handed quarterback, but there you see Joe Burrow execute to perfection. Throws another touchdown right there. Tigers up early, 21-7, but Burrow wanted more.
No doubt about it, and you know when you throw deep, and number 1 is a high probability of catching it. Is this Chase? No, this is Jets again. That's right. Jets had 4 touchdown passes. He's counting them out. And, man, I'd love to see the Saints get Justin Jefferson.
This is a trick play Oklahoma tried to pull off. Did not work. Kerry Vincent made a great play on the ball. Used that track speed, tracked it down, played in center field, got the interception.
He's coming back. He's running track. He's not at spring football, but he will play nickel, dime, and on special teams.
It was 28-7 at this time. They see Jamar Chase over the middle. Joe Burrow really ate up that portion of the field in this game. Jamar Chase really just continuing his Blendikoff campaign. You mentioned Jets did have 4 touchdowns, but here you see a great one right here. Back shoulder catch. This is a 50-50 ball that I was talking about.
Yeah,
it was never in doubt. Jets Jefferson catching that back shoulder fade, and then Thad Moss. They ran a great play concept. The safety thought he was going to the out. Thought Thad Moss was going to run a pick. He catches it wide open for the run.
And he's running like he's got a refrigerator on his back, but and I don't know what he ran or what he's going to run, but hey, man, Thad Moss, God bless you to being able to wait it out, get healthy, and be a great tight end that 1 year last year.
That's right. Wait for his time, and when it's his time, he definitely shined. He sees some more social distancing from Joe Burrow, moving around the pocket, finding a wide open receiver that's chased down the left side of the field. Joe Burrow, as soon as he completes a pass, he's looking for the next play call. He wants to move quick when they get down to the end zone.
Pick your poison on who you're going to double. Of course, here we go once again, and they'll play action, an easy throw. I love Terrace Marshall to catch balls. He can catch it at the high point.
That bunch formation gave defenses problems all season long. LSU, too many weapons to guard them all in a tight space. Here you see Joe Burrow finding more receivers down the middle of the field. Chase, great catch. Another 50-50 ball. This year, it was not 50-50.
Enjoy number 9, folks. It's going to be a stretch. Here you go. I talked about it. You saw Chase was in the backfield, actually got a run for a first down inside the red zone.
I believe they will do a lot more of this coming up this fall. Jamar Chase has the body to carry the football. And there you see Joe Burrow taking it himself. Did bobble it towards the end zone, but he already broke the plane of the quarterback sneak. Chris Curry behind him gives him that late push.
Sure, got to push it. You know, when I'm so old, you used to not be able to help the runner. Now you can. Joe Burrow in this game, folks, 7 touchdown passes and 1 rushing touchdown. Here you see Miles Brennan. Got to be happy getting some PT in a CFP semifinal game.
That's right, getting some valuable snaps in a playoff game. Yes, LSU is up 56-28 at this point, but Miles Brennan does come in, hands it off to Chris Curry. Chris Curry does the rest, bangs his way down for a first down. Could have had a little bit more if he lowered his shoulder a little bit on that shot. Gets the first down, the drive continues, and the Tigers ultimately go down to score. Miles Brennan, these are the snaps that really prepare you to take over the reins the next season.
And, of course, once again, as we know, Brennan hands off here, and who was that got
Emery.
John Emery.
Yep.
Once again, three-headed monster this year with Chris Curry, Tyrion Davis-Price, and John Emery. John Emery needs about 5 or 6 pounds upper body, working on the hands. He could be special.
63-28. It was so bad they pulled Jalen Hurts. Give the next guy some time. They see Lincoln Riley, nothing he could do to catch the Tigers on this day. Victory formation for LSU, going to the national championship to face what would come to be the Clemson Tigers. Of course, you know Clemson took on Ohio State, had a lot of controversy about was it a fumble, was it a catch? It ultimately comes down to LSU and Clemson.
There's Kelly Ogeron saying, hey, I got to be close to you. We go and shake hands with Lincoln Riley. By the way, LSU has an offensive analyst going to work this year, has worked with Lincoln Riley, and we're hoping that that offense is very similar as to last year. And let's quickly roll into the championship game. JP, you have to take great pride being in the Superdome and being in the Big Easy for this game, of course, in the Superdome, which LSU had a tough first quarter. They confused LSU and really had a lot of bad field position to start the game, JP. Here, a great play, but Adrian McGee was downfield, so this gets actually called back.
All right, this was a high to immediate low. The play was called back. Clemson takes the early lead. LSU actually went down by 10 points this game, the biggest deficit of the season. So you see Burrow to Chase, one of many touchdowns. Chase had an outstanding game. Joe Burrow was never rattled. Came back with deficit. There you see was down 7-0. Found Chase. You're going to guard him with one man. We're going to throw it deep all day. I mean, look at the separation. That was 4 yards of separation at the top of the route.
Can you believe Clemson decided to guard Jamar Chase one-on-one, and it took them about a quarter to realize of this craziness. And when he caught that first one, I don't know about you, but that was the first time where I said, this is the LSU I've watched all year long. The second one, you kind of knew, okay, Tigers have got their momentum.
That's right. Joe Burrow really finding himself right here. Scored in the second quarter. The Tigers get the ball back, had to move downfield, and really another Heisman moment. You'll see in just a few minutes with Joe Burrow on that second down with no timeouts, like 18 seconds left to go in the second half. Holds it down, takes it down, gets a bunch of yards. One of the best jukes of the year right there. Made 19 fall. We'll see it again right here. Jets Jefferson. You know he likes to give out punishment. You're not expecting him to juke back. 19 takes a spill. Here's the play I'm talking about. Not much time left. Oh, excuse me. No, this is not the play. This is a touchdown to Chase.
Yeah.
It is coming back in just a few minutes. But Joe Burrow to Chase, dynamic combination. They see Chase with the celebration.
Here's the play, folks. And Clemson were freaked out about this because LSU had no timeouts. This was a third down. They had called the quarterback draw. Not only did he get the first down in 30 yards, had clock to get it to Thad Moss for the touchdown right here. And that's when I knew that the hammer was down.
That's right. Joe Burrow takes a big hit on this play. He did get a little bruise on the ribs, but found Thaddeus Moss in the end zone. Like you said, this is really the turning of the tide for this game. LSU takes a bigger lead, but really you knew that all things were clicking for the Tigers at this point. Come back in the second half, Joe Burrow doing more of the same. A quick screen out to Chase, and Chase does the rest.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anytime you get Sadiq Charles and others leading the way, he's going to be tough. Burrow, by the way, was definitely hurt at halftime. He didn't want anybody around touching him. We also know that same linebacker got tossed because of targeting.
On that hit right there.
And look, this was a good call. This should not be allowed, and I'm sorry, 47, bye-bye. You need to leave.
They had a great game up to that point. For Clemson, it was a big loss for the Clemson Tigers. Where you see Thad Moss, another score in the national championship. His daddy was happy in the stands. There you see him, Randy Moss, the Hall of Famer. Gotta be a proud moment for any dad when your son can do this in national championship.
No doubt about it. Joe Burrow and Thad Moss were really, really close. Big time, big friends. And everybody will miss both those guys this year. But hey, you got some new stars and it'll be fun. Once again, Burrow dumps it off under pressure to Jets Jefferson, and I'm telling you, I'd love to see that guy playing on that same field in the black and gold.
Yeah, I think a lot of Who Dat Nation would also agree with you there, Bud, man. Joe Burrow, more social distancing, never been touched. He finds another open Thad Moss for a first down. Really, all things were clicking for the Tigers. 35-25 was the score when he found Terran Marshall. A great catch for a score to put the Tigers up even more.
All right, what does that mean? When he was doing all that, what does that mean?
Well, that's a LeBron celebration. He's putting the powder on his hands and he's lifting it up into the sky.
That's why you're here. You're telling all the young people and the middle-agers what's going on, JP.
That's right. King James has an influence across all sports. They see a fumble caused by Grant Delpit on Lawrence right there. A lot of people have already said, you know, with Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, could the Patriots just tank this year and try to get Trevor Lawrence in the draft?
I don't know. You know, we'll see. Obviously, he's going to be the #1 quarterback, but LSU made him look bad in this game. Once again, Burrow to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. A juke, a foot in the ground, a cut, and another big game. And there's Coach O and Kelly and everybody. You see the two quarterbacks. It was a special year. And we hope we just gave you a taste of what it was like to be an LSU fan and enjoy it. For us in the media, this was special, JP.
All right, it was too easy. 15-0, all the awards, all the records broken for the LSU Tigers. It was something to talk about every single week. I mean, there was never a dull week with these Tigers. Even if they weren't playing SEC games, they were doing something special on the field. Joe Burrow, Heisman, the list of awards, too many to name right here on Tigers Roar. It was great, very special. Happy to have brought it to you right here on Tigers Roar. Certainly appreciate you tuning in for all LSU football knowledge. Of course, a lot of it has to do with this man, Buddy Sanji, a legend in sports talk radio. Nobody does it better than the Bud man. We certainly appreciate having him here on Tigers Roar. Gonna take a quick break. We have a lot more, including a segment with Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Don't go anywhere. We're here on Tigers Roar.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-383-8177, 800-383-8177.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Welcome you back on a Wednesday night. Hope everybody doing well, and you will see this replay, of course, at 8 o'clock. The Southern Show coming up at 7 o'clock, and once again, stay safe. Appreciate all of you patronizing all of our great sponsors, and once again here at Scoreboards. Mike Scarborough with our Wednesday night segment, and Mike, we wanted to talk football. We wanted to give people something positive and good to relive. And JP and I have been spending the last hour plus talking about 19, who's departing and who's going to fill those spots. But if you could, give us a little overview in a minute or so of what you enjoyed the most about this previous LSU season and how it will impact recruiting moving forward.
I just, you know, I think back to what I said all season long, how it was just a fun team to watch. It seemed like every week we were on the show, I just talked about how it was fun to watch. And look, I've got all those games on my DVR for the entire season. I probably watched the SEC championship through Oklahoma, through Clemson and Alabama at least 4 times each. And it's because they were fun to watch. You had a great group of upperclassmen, team leaders, of course, all the records, and it's just, look, we've seen a lot of winning football this century at LSU, but there was also always a lot of wins that were some aggravating wins. Mm-hmm. There were no aggravating wins by LSU football last season.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. JP, obviously the closest game was the Auburn game. The things, guys, that really stood out for me is LSU in the red zone. And this is one of the things that's going to be interesting to compare and contrast with Ensminger and Linehan versus Ensminger and Brady. And we don't know if Brady got too much credit or not enough credit. Obviously, Joe Burrow made a lot of those plays and was fantastic with preparation and pocket poise and knowing where he had his blockers and knowing what those guys were going to do. But, Mike, what's fair for the LSU fan to expect going forward? JP and I were kind of talking about probably a better running game and more yards running, not as much passing. Some young guys that will have a chance, but better defense, more aggressive defense, special teams, basically everybody back with Ferguson the snapper. And you know how people are. They get spoiled, and come the second week of the season, when you're hosting Texas, Tiger Stadium is going to be lit, guys.
Yeah. Look, LSU's defense, I think, will be better next year. The offense will be, I think, a little bit more. Ed Orgeron would always say every week, he wants to be balanced, but obviously it was a lot more passing than run. I think it'll be more run than it was certainly in 19 for 20. And look, a few days ago, FoxBet.com put out their early lines for the major games for the 2020 season, and there was only one game listed where LSU's an underdog, and that's them getting 2 points in Gainesville. 1-point favorite over Alabama. Of course, I mean, all this stuff changes.
Yeah.
You know, as the season gets here, but what they're minus 6.5 at A&M. I think it's or they're giving 6.5 to Texas at home, getting 2, I think, at A&M. So, or giving 2 to A&M. So, in the Auburn game is a pick 'em. So, you know, I think you're probably safe if you're thinking 9-3, but you get some better than average quarterback play, and I tend to think if Miles Brennan gives LSU a similar season that Joe Burrow gave in 2018, I think that's enough for LSU to go 10-2.
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about some of the personnel. We spent most of our time today on offense. We'll spend next week talking about defense. JP will pull up the Alabama game and relive that a little bit, and maybe the Florida game. That was a big win. But, Mike, on the offensive side, give me a priority listing on who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the toughest guys to replace in 2020 for this LSU offense.
You know, Burrow, Justin Jefferson, you know, certainly Christian Fulton and Delpit, Patrick Queen, obviously the way he ended the season. And then move them way up there. You know, obviously Cushenberry and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, well, I was talking offense, but look, JP, Cushenberry. There was one game that he had about 3 silly snaps that weren't up to par. But man, you don't realize that shotgun snap is not as easy. It's an acquired taste. Of course, the left tackle Sadiq Charles. The guard play that you got from Damian Lewis and Adrian McGee, who played 4 positions. The tight end from Thad Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and all that he brought to the table, 16 rushing touchdowns and 50-plus catches. And, guys, can we say it? Joe Burrow, now, there's discussion about whether he's the greatest player of all time. I don't think there's any doubt, JP and Mike, that is the greatest season any LSU Tiger ever had.
Well, before he arrived, I've been saying for years that the best LSU football player, you know, in my lifetime was Tyrann Mathieu. Well, he surpassed Mathieu, and then probably behind him, you know, it's, you know, then you're getting that Kevin Falk, Tommy Hodson range, but Burrow's way out front with Tyrann Mathieu number 2.
Mike, Coach Joe's done a lot of press. We saw him in a PSA for coronavirus. We had that here on Tigers Roar. We also saw him in a press conference with the governor and the attorney general. I know with a lot of recruiting's got to be done over the phone these days, but I mean, how important is this for LSU, for Louisiana, to see Coach Joe in a leadership role? What effect can that have on parents and players?
Well, it's smart, and the governor knows it's smart because of, you know, how popular Ed Orgeron is.
Yeah.
Coming off an undefeated season, arguably the greatest team in the history of college football, and you've got to have some outreach to the millennials in the younger demographic that are going to get cabin fever. The school's out, and they want to use that free time that they've got, which means they want to get out on the road, and you know, of course, they'd love to go to a movie or do something, so they're getting antsy. So I get it, and hopefully it's a Coach Orgeron that can reach out to them and let them understand how important it is that they don't go out and about, pick it up, go home, and then all of a sudden it finds its way to grandma who doesn't have the immune system to fight off something like this. So I think it's smart, and he made the rounds yesterday with Rosilio and Rich Eisen, and he was on with Neil Cavuto on Fox News in the afternoon that went national. That was a great segment. Again, it's all good, and it's also points to the popularity of Ed Orgeron, which once we get through all this is kind of, you know, again, what that season did for LSU football, and then it'll pay off in the recruiting class.
Hey, real quick, one thing we don't know is how much these guys are going to get together and throw. Joe Burrow, on all of his exit interviews, told everybody they did this for almost a year. Saturday, Sunday mornings, they'd text, they'd go throw. We're in a kind of a great period here. The other thing that JP and I discussed, Mike, is with all the students leaving, they're away from the training table, they're away from working out, and they're away from getting weighed every day, every week. You got to have some leadership and making sure those guys don't develop that belly over the pants because you don't want to have guys coming in and Tommy Moffitt's going to have a regime running at 5 in the morning when they come back.
Yep, and of course every program's going to have to deal with that, you know. And is it a situation too where everybody's going to be not going to have the benefit of spring football? Do we get too many days beyond April 15th where they say, okay, or they make a decision if they're going to give them, you know, a dozen days in June or in May to where they can conduct some semblance of spring football practice? We know there won't be a spring game, which is fine, but they sure, you know, all these coaches would like to get that work time in somehow, so you're not trying to force everything in August.
Well, Mike, we certainly appreciate you spending some time with us here on Tigers Roar. Hoping you stay safe. Go ahead and tell everybody about Tigers Roar, a great place to go on your computer, safe at home.
Yeah, go to TigerBait.com. Just put up a story on Will Campbell, the top offensive lineman in the state of Louisiana. We got an interview with Mason Smith, the #1 defensive tackle in Louisiana for 21. He had some very interesting things to say in there about Bo Pelini, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be posting that here in the next day or so. So go to TigerBait.com. We're going to keep the site loaded up for you, and do yourself a favor, choose the annual package. We're giving, with that option, you're basically getting 3 months free for the year.
And I got some tidbits coming to the Tiger Bait subscribers. I got some tidbits, some good stuff coming for the weekend, Mike.
All right, appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Thanks.
All right, buddy. God bless you. Keep safe and your family. And JP, I tell you what, when we decided to do this show, we didn't know how it was going to go. We thought that it would be popular. We hope you enjoyed it. It will be replayed. And next week, replays of Bama, Florida, and maybe Auburn. Talk more defense. And as always, free agency and Saints stuff.
Yeah, right in the middle of free agency, we'll also talk some LSU football and the fallout from Corona. What's it going to mean for the NCAA to give some scholarships back to these spring athletes? How's it going to affect incoming freshmen? And a whole lot more. Check us out next week right here on Tigers Roar, always on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. If you miss it live, go to YouTube, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. A great way to keep up with everything we do here at the Pelican. And we also thank you for tuning in. We know it's been hectic out there. You're going to get your toilet paper. You're going to try to find your favorite towels. I certainly appreciate you tuning in and joining us here on Tigers Roar. For everybody out in the truck, from Marty Campbell, and the Budman, Buddy Sanji, I'm Jonathan Poche, and you've been watching Tigers Roar.